Testing. Oh, wow, this is working pretty good. All right, guys, we're gonna get started here shortly. Hey, what's up, guys? Jack here with MTS. Oh, boy. Gosh, it feels weird to be streaming again. As you can tell, I'm in a bit of a new location. This location being... Hang on, let me get the lights on. We are in my grandma's basement. Yeah, no, so with our house being on the market for the next few days, I needed a place where I could, not have to be going all over, having to work around other people's schedules. So I set up a little desk here, my grandma's basement. I got my 2 monitors, my computer, got a camera. So, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're not going to let that keep us down. We're going to keep working and get back to doing things. So, how's everybody's day going? I want to start things off by saying I posted in my YouTube community tab here. Let me get back to that. YouTube. I hate that there's no community tab button in YouTube Studio. I just have to go to my channel and then go find the community tab. It's kind of annoying. So yeah, here. I also don't have my Stream Deck, so all my transitions are having to happen manually, which is so fun. So fun. I put out some stuff about, a 4th of July video that just went up, and then some things about upcoming videos. All of these videos are happening in this order. So we've got some cool stuff coming up. We're going to be talking about how I'm going to be networking our new apartment, how I'm going to be doing, some stuff with the Terra deck. Got a lot of TP-Link Omada gear in. I'm still waiting on a few more pieces of gear to come in, but yeah, so that should be some fun videos. And then the Ingenious Cloud. I wanted to do the TP-Link Omada stuff before I did Ingenious Cloud. I filmed that video a couple times now, but I just keep coming back to, like TP. A lot of the stuff that TP-Link is doing, I want to reference in the Ingenious video. So I want to have that video out first, and then I went back to my brother's house and we started doing some more networking stuff over there. So yeah, we got some content coming out. That should be hopefully coming out, or at least the networking and apartment video. That's the next video that I'm going to be dropping, and then probably a ride along in after that. But yeah, no, so we've got videos, we've got stuff planned. It's just after the house sells, things are going to be good and easy for a couple months, and then oh boy, we're just going to be kind of getting into the crazy, stupid stuff of moving. I'm going to be needing to get a new desk, a new bed, everything, because if I want to take my current bed and current desk to the apartment, I would have to be sitting on my bed in order to use my desk. So yeah, a much smaller space. It's just not going to be a fun time. And I might even have to put college on hold for, I don't know. Life is absolutely chaotic right now. But I figured we could talk about some cool new tech things, and then just kind of play some video games and hang out for a while. I've probably got another hour or so that I'll stream for. So yeah, I don't know. How's everybody's day going? How y'all doing? I want to know. Got 9 people in here and I got 1 chat message. That's basically how my streams go. If only Alex were here. We miss Alex. Okay, so I want to talk about the new price cut for the ATEM Mini. So the ATEM Mini Pro just had a pretty big price cut of $100, so that brings it down to $495, which is absolutely awesome here. And then, oh gosh, what's the other new cool thing that came out? I am blanking hardcore. Well, the ATEM Mini is cheaper now, so there you go. This is what you get when you get sleep-deprived Jack in his grandma's basement trying to do a tech show. Yeah, no, so they released that at a lower price. I'm probably going to pick up one of these guys and deploy it for the same church I did a couple videos about, probably. Yeah, no, I did a ride-along up there and an actual channel video, so yeah, we're going to be picking up one of these guys. We're going to be switching them from an OBS setup, kind of like what I'm running right now, to the ATEM Mini, so that way that can be their, encoder and everything, just because they're having some issues with OBS. Ubiquiti has, I don't know. I've been playing around with the TP-Link stuff, and it makes me wonder why I'm still doing anything with Ubiquiti gear. Because if you look at everything that Ubiquiti's been doing that I've been, crapping on them about, TP-Link hasn't done that stuff. So, TP-Link basically just ripped off Ubiquiti, but you have more control options with the TP-Link stuff. You have I don't believe you have as much hardware choice, but they keep pumping out a bunch of good stuff, and you don't have to sign in with their cloud account. You don't have to do anything like that. The data collection is off by default, so it's just, I don't know. Networking the new apartment, that is going to be all done with the TP-Link Omada gear, because I want to get that stuff actually deployed and being used by me, so that way I know, hey, what this stuff is like, so that way if I deploy it for a client, I'm not deploying untested hardware. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun thing to do. I've got some more TP-Link stuff on the way. They've just been having some stock issues, so is everybody else, so I don't know, I can't really crap on them for that. So it is what it is. But I was thinking we could probably jump in here and talk about a few things while playing Mario Kart. I have a big event coming up that I need to do a lot of Zoom stuff for. So in terms of doing all of that Zoom stuff, it's just going to be an interesting time. Really just because I'm having to manage seven computers. Yeah, 7 computers. Couple for control and monitoring, couple for playback, and then our stuff for Zoom, which is, it's fine. It's interesting, but at the same time, it's not, my favorite thing on the planet to be, babying Zoom calls. So I got to try and do it all in a way where, everything works. Also, this is going to be interesting playing Mario Kart because I'm going through my capture card and I'm just, projectoring OBS. So this is fun. We're just going to play some Triforce Cup. I like that when I bust out the video games, people start leaving. Give me just a second here. There we go. Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, so one of the things that I need to figure out is for this church, right now, their iMac, which is handling all of the playback of, their slides and everything through ProPresenter, doing some video stuff, lyrics, they're using the 2 display outs that the computer has already. And because it's an iMac, I can't exactly just, drop in another graphics card super easily. So I'm debating between doing, just an eGPU to get more regular video outputs, using a USB, video output device, or using an external PCIe enclosure and doing something like one of the Blackmagic DeckLink cards, and then going into a bigger switcher. So I was looking at the Television Studio HD, or the ATEM Mini Pro. And I was thinking about doing the ATEM Mini Pro just because, 1, it's cheaper, 2, it has the built-in encoder, and 3, all their stuff is basically HDMI already. But with the Television Studio HD, if I was doing that with the DeckLinks, well, then everything's already SDI. I don't know, it's just trying to figure out a setup that'll work for them without breaking the bank and creating too much complication, because the last thing I want to do is have, a bunch of volunteers be needing to do anything that really should be done by an on-site, broadcast engineer or tech person. So I'm most likely going to be doing some form of USB output device for the video, because I can just split their current full screen output and then just use a USB video card for NDI, or for, in place of one of the NDI streams right now that's currently taking care of the lyrics. But then I'd have to use color keying instead of alpha keying, and alpha keying is way better in every way. I am sucking at Mario Kart today because I don't even know why I'm sucking so bad at this. Yeah, no, so that's all the crap that I'm having to figure out. It's great. Yeah, so I'm doing a big conference, essentially, what would be done at some sort of, big stage with large groups of people. We're taking that conference, splitting it up into a bunch of Zoom calls and doing it all remote with a lot of video playback, some live elements. Yeah, and there are going to be a couple thousand people in attendance of this. So it's not one of those things where it's like I can get away with, not doing a lot of redundancy. Generally, I always have some form of redundancy in there, whether it be, hey, sorry, the live stream might cut out, but in an hour we can have an uploaded recording of the whole thing put together. But I don't have the option to do any of that. I need this stuff to be perfect and flawless. So that's going to be a fun thing to figure out. So yeah, really, I was trying to do some stuff, planning all of that out. And after this Mario Kart run, we can take a look at that. OBS preview delay for the win. Yeah, no, it's certainly an interesting thing to try and play with. But yeah, so I'm going to hop into Draw.io after this match here, but I've always struggled with trying to really plan things out on paper ahead of time, because I solve so many problems by just having the hardware in hand and connecting it and figuring out what's not working, what is working. But for something where I'm running a lot of stuff on multiple machines, working with a team of people, it makes things a lot more tricky, because I have to make sure that not just I'm not the only person that needs to know exactly what's happening, exactly where each wire connects, exactly how all of the network diagrams are working, because we're using both, we have a lot of networking for 7 computers, plus then, video stuff for some live video elements, a lot of audio stuff over Dante. So yeah, that's going to be a very fun thing to figure out. Installing things once and getting a setup that works is fine, but when I'm just always breaking things down and building new setups for different events, it's like I don't just have a studio that is where everything happens. I'm constantly setting things up, tearing things down, and that's fun in a way, because it's nothing's ever the same. It's a lot of change, a lot of fun problems to figure out, but at the same time it creates problems that if I can't figure them out, well, that both reflects poorly on the people running the event, me, my team. It just reflects poorly on so many people involved. So it's a matter of getting things right so that way we don't have to look like idiots. I was working with a guy, and he was doing an event. He was streaming. He was just using a single camera going into his laptop, running OBS. But so he didn't realize that he needed a capture card in order to connect a camera into a computer. I have a capture card. That's how this works. No, so he just jacked the camera into the HDMI port built into his laptop, and then called me 2 or 3 minutes after the event was supposed to have started, wondering why nothing was working. And I'm like, oh, what capture card are you using? He goes, I just got it plugged into my laptop. And I'm like, yes, but what capture card are you using? He goes, it's just plugged into the HDMI built in on the Dell laptop. I go, come on, man. So he came over to my place, picked up a capture card, but yeah, no, he ended up having to tell them to, pause the event, pause what was going on, because he didn't have the equipment that he needed. And so it's you want to make sure that you're representing your clients in the best way possible, as well as yourself. And that's something that can be difficult to do. Also, speaking of, looking after yourself, I am likely quitting my job this weekend. So that complete moron that I was telling you guys about in one of my previous streams, I mean, this guy is about as useless as it gets. He's not a good camera operator. He's somehow a worse camera operator than he is a video director, which I'm like, how does that work? But no, he's terrible at everything he does. And my church just hired him to be the broadcast engineer. And I'm like, this guy will crash and burn without somebody holding his hand 24/7. So I'm not going to be that guy. I don't know, just because it's like my work, the work that I do should not be, he shouldn't be taking the credit for the work that I'm doing. Because it's like, I mean, he was still dicking around with trying to get Teradeks working right in the center of antenna distribution for all of our wireless mics. That's obviously not going to work because, you know, there's antenna distribution that's a lot more powerful than anything the Teradeks are putting out. Yeah, and so it's like 8 minutes before show, I'm having to like go out there and rein him in. It's like, no, you can't be doing this. And so we just use the Teradek as a HDMI to SDI converter and then ran a long SDI cable. It's like, yeah, that's who they hired to be the broadcast engineer. I don't even get it. He managed to break a $6,000, Sony big master control panel, for controlling all of the colors between a bunch of different cameras. I don't know how he managed to do that. I mean, that's a very large professional piece of gear. That is not something that just has issues. That's something that's like, you have to do something pretty stupid to it in order to get it to mess up. So that was not good. I was able to fix it and get it all working because it happened in the middle of service. But it's like, okay, so I'm both video directing, board opping, fixing his mistakes, and what else? I have one other job that I was also doing. I don't remember what else I was doing, but so I was like doing 4 people's jobs, but as one person. And it's like, I don't mind doing that. I actually really enjoy doing stuff like that. But at the same time, it's, why are you hiring that moron? I don't know. There are very few things that frustrate me more than somebody who's incredibly unqualified for the job that they have. And this guy fits that description perfectly. They sent out a big email saying, hey, this guy got hired, blah, 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 blah. Welcome him to the team. And I'm like, this guy shouldn't feel welcome. And they put like a list of, his past, works and things that he's done. And it's like, he's got a lot of experience, but I'm like, how come none of that experience has translated into you not being a moron? It's, I don't know. Great guy. It's one of those things where it's like, it's really hard to dislike. So like, if he was a terrible person, my life would be so much easier, because it's really easy to hate somebody when they're both bad at their job and a terrible person. But when they're such a great person, yeah, it's I just described the entire IT support industry. One way to avoid it is to start your own consulting shop. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I do. That's what I do with Miller Media. I mean, we both run events and do installations and consulting and things. And yeah, no, it's, I don't know. One of the things that pissed me off the most was one of the guys from my church. This is back when this moron guy was a volunteer. He was running camera, and when he runs, I mean, you run a big broadcast camera over your shoulder because you have multiple points of contact. If you want to have it, handheld and down low, you tuck it in close to your body because then you get more points of contact. This guy's got his camera out here all Shakes McGee like, getting in the way of everybody. I cannot stand this guy. And then I was complaining about some stuff, and then one of the guys up there, he goes, well, you should talk to, so-and-so, because they do this professionally. I about crapped my pants when he said that. It's like, I'm sorry, what do you call the Grammys, Coachellas, 2 movies, 3 TV series, don't even remember how many music videos I've done at this point. 41 weddings, countless conferences and things like that. Over 50 plus video installations, large scale stuff. We're talking $100,000+ jobs here. It's like, what do you call that? Because I can tell you that's not amateur. Yeah. Mr. Repair says, hello. Hi, how are you doing? How are you doing, my good sir? Yeah, this is just... I don't know. It's like I work with... Hey, Diamond, what's up? Yeah, I'm in my grandma's basement, so got that going for me. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like, how do you work with somebody that literally has no idea what they're doing? Because I don't want to do that. I'm going to try and move this light just because it's on the floor here and I'm casting a lot of shadows. I'm doing good. I'm surviving. I'm surviving at this point. Yeah. Is this better? Oh, I gotta change the exposure settings on my camera. Here, give me 1 second. How does this look? How are we looking? Okay, give it a second for that menu to go away, and then there we go. Now we refocused on my face. Hey. Sup. Also, what's with the lighting? I'm in my grandma's basement. The lighting is what it is. I have my drum light that used to light up, the wall behind me. That's my face light. And then I have a single stage part behind me. Yeah. This is a very jank setup. I made a subreddit today for apes in the wild, lol. Or APs in the wild. Yeah, no, sorry. I've been playing with the I've been playing with the Ubiquiti. Screw this. Like, I don't really care. I'm never gonna work with Ubiquiti ever because it's like I've trashed on them so much. The Wi-Fi 6 version of the APAC Pro. It's currently named U6 Professional, but in the software it's named something different. It's the access point I have right behind me, and it's I don't know, just because we're staying at my grandma's house, I grabbed an access point, so that way her router is currently covered up by a pile of all the stuff that was in our basement and our house. So there'd be no way for us to grab the Wi-Fi name and password really easily. So I ran a network cable over here, brought over an access point that had the same SSIDs and everything. Cisco's better than Unify. Kind of. But yeah, no, I've just been seriously loving TP-Link stuff. I want a broadcast cam instead of my camera rig. Broadcast cameras are awesome, but at the same time, they kind of suck. Because like the ones that we have, it's a pain in the ass to try and change stuff like the white balance or anything from the camera itself. So it's like you're just kind of running into the master control panel all the time, and they just have that. They have that broadcast look to the camera. Like, it just kind of looks disgusting. I'm not a broadcast camera guy. I much prefer, like, we did a shoot here. I can pull it up because I did put it on my website. That's not how you spell my name. MillerMediaSTL.com. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I know my own website. Haha. Yeah, no, so I finally added a few more things here. So this is... Oh, no, this was from a different shoot that we did. This is from an actual service. But, this'll work, I guess. Just look at... It's just got that broadcasty look where you get some lines, you get some blockage. It's just icky. I don't know how else to really describe it. I just don't like the look of these cameras, especially seeing as, oh gosh, what shoot was this? I'm trying to think if I have the footage from it. I don't have the footage from it on my computer. No, but we did a video shoot, and I was running around with a C100, like $1,200 camera, and it looked so much better than our $27,000 Sony broadcast cameras. I'm like, there's a problem with this because I am using a $1,200 camera going into wireless video transmission. And then it's all downscaled to 720p because, when we spend $180,000 on cameras, we still run things at 720. This place, my church just doesn't make sense to me. It makes me want to tear my hair out. And I'm done with that. It's like, I don't want to be working at a place where it's like I'm constantly frustrated and constantly feel like I'm the smartest person there. How's the cost of TP-Link gear compared to Ubiquiti? Let's take a look at TP-Link Omada here real quick. So I want to look at the TP-Link stuff. See, they break their website up so much, and it's really freaking annoying. Omada SDN, all products. Here we go. Yeah, so you've got the different controllers. The controller here is like $60. I don't actually remember how much it is off the top of my head. But yeah, okay, so that's gone up. That was only like $60 before. I guess they're just having a lot of supply chain issues like everybody else is. So this was like $60 before. They keep upgrade. Why do they keep jacking their prices up? I need to talk to my TP-Link rep about that. And then this is like their big access point with 2.5 gig networking. They're sending this to me. This and the router are the things that have been just delayed due to out of stock. But I mean, look at the size of that Ethernet port and look at just how massive this thing is. So I mean, it's $200, but this thing is like 3 APAC Pros stacked on top of each other. Like, this thing is massive. I could not install this in anybody's house simply because it will never pass any form of wife approval. Yeah, so it's just kind of one of those. Yeah, it's really freaking cool, but this is not for any sort of home, which it's... Yeah. Yes, this guy's $200. And these guys, I don't remember the pricing on these guys. They sent me this one here, the outdoor one. They also have wireless N versions of their access points. Why? Why? I don't understand why they do that, but they do. They came out with a new little access point. Where is it? Gosh, I don't remember where it was. Access points. Where was it? TP-Link in-wall AP. Gosh, I mean, I don't think it was supposed to be released. Yeah, this guy here. So this is a coming soon product, I believe. This little guy, I mean, this fits in a lot better. Yeah, wait, where is this? Okay, so this is just the UK version, which is like, I mean, that's why I feel like it looks better in London, or in Europe. But no, I really like this. I would rather deploy this in my house than, rather than one of okay, see, look, their website's it's like, I'm going back, go, yeah. I'd rather have this little cool looking thing than this. This to me is, I mean, it fits in with just about, I mean, it's a complete ripoff of the Ubiquiti one, just like basically all of their products. But I don't know, I just think this one looks a lot better. This guy, I don't remember how much this one is, but I've been playing around with this one because this is the only Omada access point I have right now. And they sent me, gosh, where are the switches that they sent me? I really want to try and get my hands on this switch. And I want them to do a 10 gig RJ45 switch, but they don't currently have that. I believe I have this switch. Yeah, they sent me this one. And this one. Yeah. So they sent me... What's the difference between these guys? 10 port. Yeah, so I have this Switch and this one. Um, that's what they sent me because this guy's got the 10 gig SFP plus and 2.5 gig ports. This Switch is kind of loud, and I'm like, I want to put in Noctua fans to it. But one of the things that I really appreciate with this Switch is that I have two 10 gig ports. That's enough for me to saturate all of these ports here by my uplinks. That's great. I love that. I mean, I know a lot of the time you're not going to saturate really your uplink ports on a Switch, but it's nice that it has the ability to do so. So, I mean, 2.5 times 8 is 20 gig. And, you know, we have 20 gigs of uplink, you know, potential. So I really appreciate that. And then there's this Switch here, which is like, you know, gigabit RJ45 or gigabit SFP. I'm like, can we just let SFP die? Like, just regular gigabit SFP. Can we please just... 10 gig SFP, not 1 gig, because that's just but yeah, no, so I've got some stuff coming in from them, and then one of these, I don't remember which router they're sending me, and there's the AC kicking on, or the furnace kicking on, and RTX voice turned off my mic. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so they're sending me one of these routers. I don't remember which one. I'm kind of a fan of these little switches here where they've got, you know, the lights on one side and the switching stuff on the other side. Although what I really want a company to do is give me a switch where I have, you know, a lot of ports on one side, and then I have, like, you know, maybe the SFPs are on the back. Maybe you've got, you know, a gigabit port on the back, because that way I can mount it underneath a desk and just have the ports exposed. So, you know, mounted under desk, got my ports exposed, and then I can have uplink and power all happening behind the switch. I really want that. Yeah, I want some company to make me that, and I will love that forever. They did send me this Omada controller here. This is the controller that I have. But no, so you can use their, like, free cloud controller, which apparently is coming soon. You can self-host it, and then you can also use their control options. On top of that, all of their devices have a built-in interface for configuration, so you don't even need a controller. So if you have, like, one access point for, you know, a site, or if you're a homeowner or a small business owner, you start off small. I mean, I can't put a Ubiquiti hardware controller at every site because, I mean, of just cost. $180 for your cheapest controller? That's ridiculous. So this way you don't have to run it on the computer. You can just run it on the access point itself. Then you start growing and, you know, building out your network. You can, you know, maybe do the software controller or maybe a hardware controller. But I know a lot of people build out Raspberry Pis as cheaper Unify controllers. But at like $70, which is how much this, hang on, TP-Link OC200 MSRP. That doesn't, this doesn't seem accurate to me. What? $8,000. That's annoying. TP-Link OC200. Yeah, I'm not sure why the price seems to be going up. I remember these guys being $70. Oh, but look at that. 802.3 AF or 802.11 AC. Haha, I'm a networking guy. I remember that. 2 AC access points in the controller for $210. Okay, like that's really cheap. At the okay, so these access points here, which are like the 2x2 MIMO, I believe. Yeah, 2x2 ME MIMO access points. I mean, this is essentially like, you know, the APAC Lite for $60. Their stuff's cheaper than Ubiquiti, and they're not making the brain dead decisions. But I mean, even at $90, why mess around with a Raspberry Pi when for like just a little bit more you can get the actual cloud controller or the actual controller, which doesn't force you to sign in with single sign-on or anything. Love that. Thank you, TP-Link. Oh gosh, my video, I'm going to be like praising this living snot out of TP-Link, and I'm also going to be putting them in their place and letting them know as soon as they make the same changes Ubiquiti did, people will start dropping them because they are not known as... I take a picture of every network rack I've ever seen. I have an album of them in my phone, and I went back because I was like, I'm curious how popular TP-Link is. I don't recall ever really seeing their switches too much in the wild. I went back, and of 381 pictures of different racks, there were 10 TP-Link switches, and only in one case, in one rack, was the TP-Link switch the only switch. Yeah, no, TP-Link, they have no brand loyalty. They are basically the 5-port. I mean, they are basically known for 5-port gigabit switch. They are basically known. Their entire business is these switches right here. That's. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's basically the only. Yeah, I have this series of switches from them. And they're great little switches, but I mean, they have no standing really in the industry. And so it's seeing as they're the new player, getting into this space, it's like people are going to leave them for a more reputable brand immediately. Like, why would I, if TP-Link's making the same dumb decisions Ubiquiti does, why would I stick with their slightly clunkier hardware? Like, I mean, the AP-AC Pro is a lot thinner than their big one. Why would I stick with them over Ubiquiti? There's no reason to. Right now, the fact that they're not making the brain dead decisions Ubiquiti is making is the only reason I'm even interested. Okay, let's see how much the TP-Link Omada. I'm just gonna search Omada here, and we're gonna see how much all this stuff goes for. $90 for the hardware controller. Which one is this one? Is this a 4x4 MIMO? I don't remember all the specs off of these guys, but this one's a slightly more expensive access point than the other one, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's probably one of their beefier ones. Yeah, $91. There you go. And then the 620 HD, which one's this one? Okay, so this is their just slightly stepped down model. Wi-Fi 6 and everything, $130. And then you go to their outdoor one. Oh, their outdoor one is $70 versus $100 for the Ubiquiti one. And the in-walls, 3 10100 ports. Ugh, that's disgusting. Let's look at this stuff. Wireless access point. This better not be any wireless N crap. Where is that in-wall access point? 4 gigabit ports. $325. How much is this guy? Out of stock. Okay, so I can't get a price for you guys because it's out of stock, but it's probably not going to be too bad. This is some of the stuff that I was looking at for Oh, this is for me. This is also for me. And this is just a price estimate for the stuff for that church. But yeah, no. So I've been pretty happy with what TP-Link's been doing so far, and I just want to make sure that they keep that up. Yeah, this competes with the do you know your website copy from when we've been trying to get the code? Lol. No. Have you ever used Ruckus stuff? Yes, that's what we're running at the crossing. It's pretty crap. I don't know. We just don't have enough access points, and the handoff between them is meh. I don't know. I'm just not a big Ruckus guy. Yeah, that competes with the XG only $200. Yep. Would be good for multi-gig fiber. Buy you one. Yeah, Ubiquiti does have their the standalone control, but yeah, that is through the app, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, supply chain issues. Name reminds me of the veggie homestyle crispy chicken honey mustard medium menu at McDonald's. Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with TP-Link stuff. And then you get to the ingenious stuff. Okay, I wanna. We're gonna go to the ingenious website here. So if you look at their products, you have two very different lines of products that are basically the same hardware, just with a software difference. Okay, get past all of your crap. Just show me all of your products. Gosh, I don't like. Okay, networking. We're gonna do indoor wireless here. So you've got essentially multiple models of basically the same thing, but as soon as you go over and look at their stuff, they've got this all. Okay, yeah. Here's the page. Is this out? Oh, this is outdoor Wi-Fi products, indoor wireless. Thank you. So you have the same products essentially as cloud managed or on premise. You have some more on premise options, but their cloud managed stuff can only be managed through the cloud. Period. The local interface is just for getting you to be able to manage just to be able to get you online to go look at the cloud stuff. You can set your IP address and that's about it. And then you have to use their cloud for things. They were going to send me two of these guys, but they ended up sending me this guy and a switch. So the on-premise stuff can be controlled locally or through their SkyKey, which is absolutely terrible. You can literally only create. The only thing the SkyKey can do is create Wi-Fi networks on a per access point basis. It's terrible. It's hot garbage. And then you switch over to their cloud managed stuff, and it's like it can only be managed through the cloud, which it's like I'm not gonna. No, that's terrible. And then you look at their switches, but their switches here, they have the on-premise and the cloud managed. So the on-premise switches and the cloud managed switches can both be managed locally. The only difference is the cloud managed switches can also be managed through their cloud on top of, local management. And the on-premise switches can be managed through SkyKey on top of local management. But through SkyKey, you can't change any port profiles or anything. You can literally only see if a switch is online or not. It's like, who designed this? Like, who sat down and said, yeah, let's just artificially segment our product lineup, let's make the switches be some form of stupid hybrid thing. And I don't understand how so many companies can keep doing this crap. And yeah, no, so that's why I wanted to do the TP-Link video first, was because I was going to reference a lot of the stupid brain dead decisions that these other companies are making and be like, look at TP-Link. They're doing it right. They're doing it good. Just copy them. Yeah, I should go to sleep. I think I have to wake up at 7:30 tomorrow for another broadcast on a Saturday. Oof. Yeah, I'm just love doing networking things. Just in some company, Ubiquiti was doing good. And then they released their stupid Unify OS where it's like, oh yeah, You have to manage it through the cloud. Oh, cool. I need to sign in with an account. Oh, I can't set this up locally. It's not like anybody ever does, control, stuff over their network. Therefore, they don't need an internet connection and they just need networking between devices like, every Dante network on the planet. It's just why do they, I hate you. I hate you so much. And then they release their new user interface and it's like, the product release cycle goes pre-release, alpha, beta, release. It's still in alpha. The new user interface is still in alpha. Yet they make it the default. Oh, yeah. And they did get breached. Yeah, so it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to really trust the company that's got breached twice within the first 3 months of the year. Yeah, they're the company that I want to be forcing me into their cloud platform. Like, get your head out of your ass, Ubiquiti. Which really sucks because it's like everything else that they're doing is really cool. I mean, yeah, their Unify Talk is like not a thing. Yeah, Unify Access is like mediocre at best. Yeah, Protect has very limited options and limited viewability hardware viewability hardware. Yeah, I can't, only share certain cameras with certain users. Yeah, it's like they did networking and they're like, all right, let's branch out into all these other areas and completely screw them all up. I don't know. It really pisses me off because Ubiquiti was going so well for so long and now it's just, and I've got thousands of devices from Ubiquiti that I'm managing and it's, I don't like it. But then again, Ubiquiti's turning into what they were fighting originally. They were fighting all the can you only show certain cameras with certain users? Oh, that's cool. They removed advanced replacement. I've never used anything but Cisco and Dortlol. I like Cisco's command line configuration. It's really quick if you know all the commands from your brain. Yeah, no, I hate command line. I hate because I don't know all the commands and stuff. I very much like having a very open GUI that I can figure stuff out in, and I like GUIs. GUIs are great. But yeah, no, so it's just been Cisco licenses though. Yeah. I mean, it's like in Cisco Meraki world, it's like, do you want to pay 8 times more for your hardware? On top of that, every year you're paying for a license that costs the same amount as just buying a Ubiquiti access point? Yeah. Cisco. Gosh, it's just like, the prosumers are ditching them too. I doubt they'll reverse the decisions. Yeah, they're not going to reverse the decisions. No. They see dollar signs. And which makes sense. I mean, it's like Ubiquiti was like taking on the Ciscos or the Arubas, everybody, by not doing a lot of the stupid stuff that they were doing. And then now they're making those stupid decisions, and TP-Link's like, all right, we'll just copy what Ubiquiti's doing, but minus the brain dead decisions. My clients would never buy Cisco for that reason alone. Yeah, it's really hard to sell that stuff to home users and small businesses and churches and stuff where it's like, operating budgets is pretty limited. It's like I've done plenty of jobs where the budget was essentially just a blank check. But at the same time, you gotta that's not how it normally goes. Yeah, no, so it's excuse me. I didn't get really a lot of sleep last night. Yeah, no, we've been having some issues with my grandma's dog. So I mean, dog was not doing all right, and then it's just been kind of a balancing act, or just a roller coaster of dog looks like she's about to die, and then dog's happy and fun and playing with you, and then it's just the cycle repeats, and it's been going on for a few days, so it's not exactly fun. Hmm. I just got a dinner invitation that I am absolutely accepting because I like food. Love a good blank check job. Yes. Oh my gosh, blank checks are the best. I was doing an installation for for a pretty large size house, and I'm like trying to keep things within a certain budget, and then the owner of the place just handed me his credit card, and I'm like, oh, I can work with this. No, we did like 20 something access points in that house. It's a lot of stuff. That was also in Virginia. Not the Virginia house network video that's on my channel. There was another one. I do a lot of work for people in Virginia. So those people have been very good to me and have been recommending my services to just about everybody else in the area. So it's like I go up there and it's, fixing up, some. So the Virginia network that I did a video about, it's on my channel. It's like the largest home Unify installation I've done. It's not true anymore because I've done plenty of much bigger ones. But oh my gosh. So I was having a bunch of rogue access point detections, and I'm like, I still have no idea what those ones are from, what those alerts are from, what it's trying to pick up. But so I had 2 access points offline, and one of the old LR access points and an APAC Pro. The LRs take 802, or they take passive PoE, and the APAC Pros are taking active PoE. And the APAC Pro also has, the dual network jacks on it. So the access points are offline, and so I called the owners of that place, and I'm like, hey, can you go take a look and just see if the light's blinking on it or whatever? And they're like, what are we looking for? I'm like, there's an access point stuck underneath that chair. And they're just like, no, there's not. Well, they thought they found it, but they sent me a picture of their Philips Hue bridge, and I'm like, that's not it. No, so there was supposed to be an APAC Pro there, and then I had them go downstairs and check where the LR access point should be, and they sent me a picture, and it's the APAC Pro with the passive PoE power line plugged into the secondary port, and then there's a blue cable hanging out of the main port going to nothing, and then the LR access point is just sitting down there, and I'm like, what happened? One of their property managers decided to try and be an IT guy. I said, you should probably let him just manage your properties, because he's not an IT guy. I walked him through getting everything put back. If you could have one, NDI or Dante in a heartbeat. NDI in terms of broadcast uses, and for a lot of that stuff, you're already connecting into complicated gear like CCU control units. You've got multiple video outs coming from your broadcast camera, one for your shader operator who can also control the menus, and then you have the clean out, plus you got all the signals going back and forth. So it's like, NDI is not really used too much for that, but Dante's made such a big difference in so many installations. ArtNet, I don't know, in terms of like what I find the most convenient, ArtNet is kind of just like, okay, cool, you exist, that's essentially my default for running lights. But then again, my ArtNet node is right next to my computer, so it's like, it might as well be a USB interface. I just didn't want to spend $500 for the Vista USB interface when I could get an ArtNet one for $150. I don't know. I have no real care about ArtNet. NDI, though, is really useful for me because a lot of what I'm doing is pulling graphics and stuff from one system into another. Really, I feel like for lyrics, that's really all it is I really only use it to get like when I'm deploying it for people, is to get ProPresenter into something else. That's about it. Aside from that, I'm pretty much never using NDI, except for, some stuff that I do around the house where I run computer into computer. But no, I could pretty easily replace that with capture cards. Dante, though, it's 1,000 channels of audio over a Cat6 cable. Yeah, that's awesome. Being able to easily run audio between computers and stuff, because it's like, if I want to get video between computers, a capture card's easy enough. Plus, it also eats up a lot of CPU stuff doing NDI. Dante's just so lightweight and so rock solid that it's like, why would I go back to analog audio? Yeah, so I'm looking at picking up a Dante stage box for my rack. I actually have my drive rack from my 4th of July video over there, and then my console, and that blue light is on top of my console. And yeah, no, Dante's great. It's really, it's so nice because I can just jack in whatever I want. Although when you just got a few devices, the Dante control software is great. But as soon as you start complicating your Dante stuff, it's like, can this interface be a little bit better? Can you add a little bit of polish to this so that way it's easier to navigate and view things? I don't even know. One of the things that I was doing is I was looking for a touchscreen. So I wanted to have a touchscreen just because, at the new house in the basement, I'm going to be doing a lot of lighting control and things, and, touch for, editing and just doing whatever. Also, especially for on the go doing Vista stuff. I don't have any of the Vista hardware interfaces. So having buttons and things so I can quickly, a lot of what I do in terms of, DJ lighting is mostly busking. So yeah, being able to have the touchscreen would be nice. But I've been trying to find a touchscreen that'll work with my Macs because, I have Mac laptops and it's... Oh, we're not pushing enough data through apparently. My stream is showing red here. Let's go over to YouTube and see how that looks. It looks fine. All right, I'm not too worried about it. It's just... I don't really know. It's just trying to find a touchscreen that works with Macs. It's I was thinking about getting a PC laptop, but it's a PC. It's another PC. I have enough PCs. I have enough things to deal with. One, I need a Mac for audio production stuff, so I will always have some sort of Mac. I don't know why it's sending... I don't know what's happening. Okay, so we turned yellow for a second. We were doing good. Okay, we're back to green. Good. We're doing fine. I don't know, just finding... I need some sort of Mac, but at the same time, it's I want a decent processor that's not 5 years old. And I want software, or I want a graphics card now because... back when I bought my laptop, it was a killer Premiere laptop because Premiere had no idea what to do with an AMD graphics card. So I didn't get the AMD graphics card option. I am running the Iris Pro graphics because Intel QuickSync took over Premiere for so long. And then they switched to using CUDA a lot more. And it's great, thanks. Now my laptop barely does anything, and my desktop got even faster, so... I don't know. eGPU plus Mac. Well, Premiere doesn't really work too well with AMD graphics cards as it is. And plus, I don't want to take an eGPU with me. Ever. No, because it's that's just complicating my setup. If I'm going to do that, then I'm going to use my little cube computer that I have, and I wanted to. Okay, so is it NextDock? Is that what it's called? Yeah, here, take a look at this thing. So, I really wanted to do something like this. It's basically a laptop shell with just a USB-C port for video, data, and everything, and plug this into my little cube computer. Because then I've got a full-on, 9900K, 2060 graphics card, 32 gig of RAM, like a whack ton of storage. This to me makes a lot more sense than an eGPU does. Then again, I mean, you can take your laptop with you without an eGPU, but I wouldn't be able to split this setup apart. But then it's whatever. Yeah, no. So really, I'm just processor limited right now on my Macs, and I'm just. So I was either thinking about doing something with whatever Apple comes out with the new M2 stuff or whatever they want to call it, or looking at a Dell XPS. That seems like a good idea. Thanks. Yeah, I reached out to this company, to NextDock, a while back. I sent them an email and never heard anything from them. Yeah. I forgot to put a boot on my cable. Oh, oof. My buddy's dad. He was like, "Hey, can you re-terminate this Ethernet cable for me? Like, how long does it, is it hard?" And I'm like, "No, it's pretty easy." He goes, is it expensive?" I go, "Well, I buy thousands of the connectors at a time, so they're half a cent a piece. Plus the boot is a cent. Plus then the 30 seconds of my time, I would charge you a dime." No, so I was hanging out with my buddy, and then I dropped him off at 1 a.m., went down and fixed his dad's cable, and the next morning he texted me, he goes, "Thanks for fixing the cable." And I'm like, yeah. My friend situation right now is just not okay. So I had two friends that were dating, and they broke up. They broke up on Monday. And I've got her calling me every night, wondering how he's doing, she's crying and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I mean, she's heartbroken. That makes sense. And then I was so worried about him because I thought he might, turn suicidal because he's absolutely insane. And so I'm like, "You're staying with me tonight. We're gonna work on it, whatever." And then last night I called him. He's like, "Oh, I'm on a date." I'm like, you got every right to be happy. You've got every right to do that. But at the same time, it hasn't even been 4 days. So it's common decency would say, wait a little longer than 4 days. 3 days. It was 3 days. 3 days. Meanwhile, he goes, "Well, everybody that I talked to said I should go for it." And I go, "Well, you talked to some really crappy people." And he mentioned one of our other friends. He goes, "Does that include, this person?" And I go, "In this case, yes." Yeah, it's meanwhile, I've got I just don't even freaking know. Yeah, so I'm gonna be going back up to Virginia here sometime in the I don't want to say near future, but it's gonna be happening sometime. So yeah, we're gonna be taking a look at that barn network. We're gonna be expanding the network in those people's house who I did the original, Virginia network job for. They need more access points. I'm just gonna deploy basically every room that has a network port. I'm gonna put an access point in, and then I'm probably gonna be bringing up 3 more wired access points and probably another 2 beacons. They need it. I mean, their house is their house is massive, and they have like no internet, basically 20% of the time. You know, like there's still a good 20% of the house where you have no internet, and then plus the internet isn't strong enough between rooms to hold a connection. So you walk room to room, and it's like drop, and then you reconnect to the other access point. It's annoying. So I want to take care of that for them, but that just requires me getting on a plane and going to Virginia, and I don't get to take any of my tools with me until I check my bags, which I don't want to check my bags, although seeing as I'm going to be flying Delta Airlines, which so love Delta Airlines. The small planes that I generally take out going out there, basically every bag is, even you're like, you don't really even have an overhead. You can bring a backpack and that's it. Everything gets thrown under the plane. So it's like, might as well check it. Yeah, because TSA took my nice crimpers. Pretty pissed off about that. I want to take a look at some laptops here. Okay, we're going to take a look at the Dell website here. And I want to just see how many people are here. Hey, we got 6 people. That's not terrible. We're gonna take a look. Ooh, the precision. Ooh. The only thing stopping me from going with, you know, one of the like the XPSs like right now is basically the fact that they don't have any real ports on them anymore. And I'm like, eh. Okay, we want to look up the NVIDIA Quadro T1000 versus 2070 mobile. Versus 2070? Will that bring up a user benchmark? User benchmark. Okay, so user... Oh, also I reinstalled my computer and my desktop and my laptop. So we haven't crashed yet in my main OBS scene here. So T1000, is that the T1000? What is this? Okay. Okay, so I want to see the performance numbers. Gee, thanks for... I know, I want to see benchmarks. Wow. Gee, thanks. Okay, so it's T1000. Here we go. This tells me like nothing. How do I... What is this website? This is... I can't even. That gives me literally nothing. T1000 2070 Super. Oh, we love these stupid ads all over the place. Wow, thanks for giving me no data, no information. Oh, here we go. Overall score, 2070. T1000. Yeah, no, I'm just... why did... I don't know. I don't want a mediocre laptop if I'm spending so much money on a laptop. Wait, I'm sorry. I did say class 40. I thought it said 40 SSDs, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Any laptop that can have 40 SSDs, I want. Yeah, like just USB-Cs. Ew. I feel like USB-C should just die already. I freaking hate it. Okay. What graphics card? A2000. Gee, that tells me so much because I totally know that. What is Windows Autopilot? ThinkPad X1 Carbon. Pre-configure new device. Set them up for live production use. Oh, ew. I don't want that. Oh gosh, my thing is just like Intel is just dying in the laptop space. I would so much rather do AMD. I mean, really, just for even thermals alone. But at the same time, it's like then I don't get Thunderbolt, and I actually use Thunderbolt for both docks, audio interfaces, external enclosures for DeckLink cards and things like that. So it's like Thunderbolt's actually something that I need. Uh, I don't even know at this point. It's just, it's annoying. Gotta go. Bye. See you, Diamond. And that I guess that kind of, I think Thunderbolt 4 is being adopted as part of USB 4. It is, and since it's open source now, or it's a more open standard. You should be able to get a lot anytime, Diamond. I'm probably gonna be heading off here too soon. Seeing as it is more of an open standard now. You should be able to start seeing it pop up in more AMD computers, but we just aren't there yet. Because I really want AMD, but I need Thunderbolt. So we're at a weird transition point where M1 is good, but not good enough. Intel is dying, and AMD is like caught up, but they don't have one of the key features that I need in an Intel machine. It's like USB ports are like becoming more popular again because like nobody uses USB-C really. I mean, it's like I have so many devices with USB-C. I've got the Switch Pro controller, my laptop, Stream Deck, Raspberry Pis, things like that. They all have USB-C, but it's like a bus, what is it? It's not a host port. It's not like really a port that's really ever used on a computer. Everything pretty much goes from USB-C to USB type A. So as we have computers coming out now that are like adding more USB ports back because hey, guess what? People need ports they can plug stuff into without using hubs all the time. We're just not quite there yet. So I don't know. It feels like tech just had a really wild ride for the past like 5 years. And so I don't know. It's one of those, what are you going to do? Same thing with Ubiquiti. It's like, I feel like the new user interface, it's something like once it's polished, like you don't even have any routing options in the new user interface. I feel like once it's fully finished and polished, it won't be as big of a deal. For me though, the straight up not being able to get away from the cloud accounts on Ubiquiti, that's the biggest thing for me. But the user interface, it's like once they give the problem is they take options out of the old interface and move them to the new interface instead of keeping it functional in both. It's frustrating, it's annoying, I don't like it. Everything is just, I want to just disconnect from tech altogether for like a year or two and then just come back to, things being different. We've got more support for Apple Silicon, and we've got, better Apple Silicon. It's caught up with what they were at before. We've got AMD, leading the charge with processors, but, not losing any of the features that I had with Intel. USB ports making a comeback because, hey, guess what? I can't plug, I can't plug this mouse into any of the new MacBooks. I can't plug this keyboard into any of the new MacBooks. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like I hate the time we're in right now. It's like, I mean, Apple, it's like, at what point do you just drop USB-C? Because it's like, I don't have a keyboard with a USB-C port. I don't have a mouse with a USB-C receiver. I don't have a network adapter with USB. I mean, like, they make them, but it's like, I don't have one. It's like, it's just all this stuff that it's like, we thought it was going to be like a matter of like 2 years before USB-C was taking over for us like everywhere. And now it's like not, and it's been 6 years. So I don't know. I just kind of want to back away from it all. And then, yeah. Does Asus have Thunderbolt in their devices? They had Thunderbolt in some of their devices. I know when I was picking out my 2015 MacBook, I was debating that versus essentially the Asus version with a dedicated graphics card. But I mean, it's like my old boss had that laptop. And it had Thunderbolt, but there were a lot of reasons I went with the MacBook over it. The firewall is so far buried in the settings, and I hate it. The firewall is the firewall even in the settings, though? Like, at last time I checked, it wasn't even there as an option. I had to go disable the new user interface, go back to the old interface, and then I could set up my routing. Why? That doesn't make it easier for anybody. It literally, they're like trying to streamline the experience, and it's like, you're not making it easier. Because home users aren't deploying this stuff. Like, they're hiring people like me to deploy it for them. It's like, if I could walk up to 50 of my clients, show them an access point, and ask, what is this? And they'd have no idea. They don't know what the heck a Ubiquiti is. They don't know what a switch is. They don't know what an Ethernet, what a gigabit. They don't know any of that. But they have one thing in common. They all have them in their houses. So it's just, please, just, I want Ubiquiti to be good again. Make Ubiquiti 2017 again. It takes like 10 clicks to get to it. Yeah, I had to spend like 15 minutes looking for it. Home users aren't deploying this stuff. Yeah, they're not. They're not. The home users are not deploying Ubiquiti. It's like, you're not making it easier for them. You're just making it more difficult for us. Because, like, the reason you don't buy a Ubiquiti router just because you need a single DHCP server. You buy a Ubiquiti router, you buy a decent router because, hey, you need to do multiple networks, you need VLANs, you need all this stuff. So why are you hiding all of that? That's the only reason I bought this product. That's literally it. So why are you not showing me that? Man, I'm a home user. Dream Machine, baby. Yep. I hate the Dream Machines because they're basically only for home users, and they still make things more difficult than they need to be. But I think it's the UDM Pro. Why is this, like, fine, only give me one hard drive bay. Fine, non-PoE ports. Whatever. Why is the switching backplane only 1 gigabit? It's like, oh, hey, here's 8 ports. By the way, if you want to do anything remotely useful with them, you have to buy another switch anyway. I just don't. Netgate SG100, yeah, gonna crush it. Yeah, I'm on pfSense here, and I don't know. So in my grandma's basement here, I set up a temporary Plex server running on my desktop because it's like my Plex server is like supposed to be accessible outside my home, and it normally is. But I took down my my main pfSense router, so I'm running through the AT&T router, and Plex can't forward through that for some reason. I've tried manually port forwarding it, and I've set up all my ports right. I know what I'm doing. I have port forwarded Plex a number of times. I have plenty of things port forwarded on that AT&T router, but Plex will not port forward through the AT&T router for some stupid brain dead reason. And so I can't get access to it outside of my house. Well, I can, but it uses Plex's servers as a relay. And because I don't have a Plex pass, instead of getting 2 megabits of throughput, I'm only allowed 1. That's a 360p connection. Oh yeah, I love watching all of my 4K Dolby Atmos HDR movies that I have totally legally at 360p, looking all blocky as can be. No, so I grabbed just a bunch of movies and set them up here, and then I've got the access point, so all my family's devices will reconnect to this. I still have a second access point with me, just in case this one isn't enough. Yeah, so yeah, so I've got the U6 Pro back there. I was gonna do Ubiquiti switch with me, but I just use the same in my portable network box. I've got a little Almox 5-port gigabit PoE switch, and I have a second one, so I'm just using that. I know Almox like kind of got a bad rap for like paying people for positive reviews. I bought their like really tiny 5-port gray gigabit switch. Here, let me pull it up over here. Yeah, I bought this Switch like 5 years ago, or not five, but it was a number of years ago. I bought this Switch. Um, it worked good, and then I needed some PoE switches, some cheap little PoE switches. So I then bought uh 5-port PoE. The Switch? Yeah, this is it. Yeah, so I bought a couple of these guys, put one of them in the portable network box, and I got the other one over here. They work great. And they're awesome because I like that this port is not, one of the ports is not PoE. My uplink does not need to be PoE. Thank you very much. I'd like totally a trade-off I am 100% willing to make. And they're like 40, or they were $40 when I bought them. I think the price has gone up a little bit, but yeah, no, I mean, this is a great little Switch. I got one right over here, paid for them with my own money, just like them. They have this like VLAN thing where you can put like two of the ports on their own VLAN. I forgot which ports it actually does the VLAN thing with. Yeah, so it'll put VLAN 1 and VLAN 2, but I'm actually curious, does this actually use VLAN 2, or does it just use a random VLAN number? I don't know. But I mean, this is a great way to, if you just need like, hey, you need some Dante, and then you need like, a separate network for something else. These would be a great little way to automatically do that, because you get PoE on both ends, just connect one Ethernet cable between them, flip the switches on both of them, and there you go. You've got a VLAN off switch set up really easily. But I'd like to try and tie the VLAN functionality of this, because there's no user interface for it. You literally just hit the VLAN switch or you don't. I'd like to try and tie that into some of my stuff, using either the Ubiquiti switches, the TP-Link stuff. Even the Ingenious switch is pretty good. It's a good switch. It's got all the options for setting up a Dante. Great little switch. It's just I don't understand Ingenius's access points. Yeah, my UDM Pro should really have PoE, maybe a second hard drive bay. I want them to make... The UDM Pro for me needs a second 10 gig LAN port. So that's the first thing we need. Because that'd be perfect. I could run a server and a switch. I could run a desktop and a server, something. More than 1 gigabit on the backplane and PoE. And a second hard drive bay. I don't know. Have you tried the Flex Mini switch? Yes, love that switch. Love that switch and the Flex switches. I have video. Go back on my channel. I'm gonna find the videos here. Nope. That's go away. Hello. Computers are hard. Your channel. Videos. Yeah, okay, so right here, this is a video that I did about the Flex Mini and then my Flex switch. I wish this video had more views than this one, but whatever. Yeah, so I love the Flex switches. They're like my favorite switches ever because they make my life easy. My entire network at home is PoE, so I just plug it in anywhere in the house, and there you go. I've got more ports. With the Flex, with just the regular Flex switch, I mean, it's like I've got a line that goes to an IP phone. Oh, we need an access point here. We need a security camera. We also need that IP phone. Oh, we need a port on the wall. Great, I can charge you lots of money to run 5 more home run lines or 4 more home run lines, or I can charge you like $400 to run all the extra lines, splice into this using this switch, and mount up all your stuff. So, I mean, it drastically reduces my cost, reduces my time, reduces the cost on my clients. It's... Love that switch. Love that switch. I have 2 of them. Love them. Yeah, Unify VPN is... Yeah. Yeah, it's icky. I would like to 2.5 gigabit become more of a thing? Yes. 2.5 gig. Oh, okay. Ubiquiti has a couple 2.5 gig switches, and it says for Wi-Fi 6 access points, but they don't have a single access point with 2.5 gig, and it's just like you got other manufacturers making 2.5 gig access points, so it's like, okay, buy our Switch and use other companies' access points. It's just annoying. I hate it. You guys are talking about IP stuff, Plex and containers and WireGuard. I don't know. Unify VPN is trash. That is very true. That is so true. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting a call from a client. Haha. Yeah, I need to rename this video here because this video is no longer an accurate title. Oh, and also this power line injector went missing from their place. So that happened. I don't even know. But yeah, no. So, oh, look at how terrible I look. Although I'm not. Yeah, no, I looked like trash there. Yeah, they need more gear. They need more gear at their house. So I'll probably make another video about that. Okay, so I got the mono, hang on, it's right here. I got this Monoprice Slim Run cable, and it's decent cable. I mean, like, I've used this stuff before. It's not my favorite cable, but it's not utter garbage either. It's just kind of one of those things. I gotta run this to the access point upstairs because I don't know how well it's gonna work with the access point being down here in the basement. How do you lose a PoE injector? No. It wasn't a PoE injector. It was a power line adapter. So one of the things that allows you to run, like, you know, a network line, but through your wall power. So it's the inverse of a power line or of a PoE injector. No, so when the house manager, when the property manager was going through and pulling out they had a full-on PBX system in that house. Each bedroom has like 5 phone lines. It's like they were trying to set up like an Indian tech support thing in the middle of a massive mega mansion in Virginia. Like, you could have a freaking call center running out of that place. No, so I know where the power line adapters were, but no. So whenever they pulled out all the phones, because they went back and pulled the phones, they pulled the power line adapters. So I'm like, oh, there's only one. So it's just kind of one of those things. It's like, then I had to, tell them to go buy another power line adapter because they needed to put a TV downstairs. They never went downstairs in the pool table room area. And then the flex access point died that was on the desk in the kitchen. So I had them grab the one from the pool table room, bring it upstairs and use that. So there's no Wi-Fi downstairs in that side of the basement because Ubiquiti is lovely. And I don't know. It's just been a disaster. So they got a big new TV down there. So I'm like, all right, this is the power line adapter you need. If you can't already hunt down the one you already have, because that one's already set up and working. I don't like tech support. I do it, but I don't like it. All right. With that being said, guys, I think I'm going to head off here for the night. I will probably pop back on either Sunday or tomorrow. Probably play some video games. So, I don't know. If you guys want to hop in, Discord, Discord server. Oh, I don't have the link to the Discord server. Hang on, we have to use I gotta get in the app because when I wiped my desktop, I didn't sign back into Discord here. Hang on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna get the QR code scan for my Discord. There we go. Thank you. Yes, that's me trying to log in. Thank you very much. We're going to go and we're going to copy the link for my server. Got it. Thank you. Go away. Give me just 1 second. I'm trying to post up the link here to my Discord server. And there we go. Guys, join the Discord. We're going to be playing some video games probably tomorrow and Sunday. Just because, I can only do so much work from a basement. I don't know. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hang on, how do I run this again? Okay, there we go.